the first thing we're going to do, we're going to start with, oh, that's not a good Sharpie. We're going to draw the ground. And everything in Egyptian art, like when you look at the walls and you look at their artwork, was two-dimensional, means it was flat. Okay, the way they would pose and everything was super flat. So we're going to make our Sphinx super flat. And here's how we're going to start it. We're going to start right here with the back. And all I'm going to do is draw a curved line that touches the ground. But look, that doesn't touch the ground. Okay? I'm going to leave it just a little bit open like that. So everybody do that. Okay, and right here at the very bottom, I'm going to draw a big paw. That's his back foot. Okay, so that's going to be his back paw or his back foot. And we're going to work our way from left to right, building our Sphinx. And then the background is going to be really fun. Now, right here, like put a question mark and connect it. And that way we've got his knee and his foot. Simple as pie. And the reason we didn't connect that is because we're going to add a tail. And I'm just going to go straight up like this with a little curve at the end. And then straight down like that to touch the ground. And then we'll add the top of the tail. And it's almost just like a teardrop or a raindrop, whatever you want to do. So far, so good. I'm going to slow down a little bit. And here's what I did this weekend. I was trying to come up with some new drawings. And I realized that I go really fast because when I'm doing it, you're just kind of trying to sketch it out. So I'm going to try to get better at slowing it down. Now we're going to draw the front leg. And what we're going to do here is we're going to skip a little bit of space. And I'm going to draw a line straight down. Now you can decide how big your Sphinx is. I don't think you'll be able to make it 260 feet on this piece of paper, but maybe you can. I'm going to go outside in a second and walk and see how far that is. That would probably be the best spatial distancing if everyone was 260 feet away. But then you couldn't barely talk to your mom and dad. Now, right here, I'm going to bring a straight line and then curve it for the front paw. And if you guys want to, you can put little lines here to make it look more like a paw. And now think about this. Would anybody out there want to be half lion, half human? There was something called a minotaur, but that's in Greek art, and we'll study that later, that had the head of a bull and the body of a human. I think it would be much better to have a lion's body and a human head, because then you could run really fast, climb trees, and still talk. If you were a minotaur, you wouldn't be very fast, and I don't even think you can talk. Yep, so I'm going to go Sphinx is better. Make a C right there, just a little tiny C. And then I want you to look at this line right here, and then bring your other finger straight across to this one. Okay, and what you're going to do is keep it on the same level and just curve it down like that. That's going to be the chest. All right, so we're looking good. Okay, now we're going to do the head. And this is going to be frustrating for some of you, but maybe not. Again, we're going to do another C like this and bring it out to the chin. Now the chin is going past the chest. Okay, not a ton, but a little bit. And I'm sure some of you guys have been to Egypt. I know some of you have brought pictures in from your trip and you went to the Giza Strip where all the pyramids are. And if you saw the Sphinx, you can see that its nose isn't there. And I've never been there, but I've seen pictures of it. We studied in our class. And some people thought, well, maybe they didn't make noses back then. But I think what happened is with all the wind and all the changes in the season that the nose just kind of fell off. So we're still going to make a nose, but first we're going to make a chin. You don't have to make the nose if you don't want to. Okay, so we're going to bring it up like that, and then just come out a little bit further than the chin is the nose. And then bring it up and stop right there. And that's going to be the forehead. So I'm going to slow down a little bit. But imagine how many people had to work how many hours to create something out of stone 260 feet long. And we'll talk about that a little more in the pyramids. Because when we see the pyramids, we look at it and think about how amazing it is. But when you really think about it, all the hard work they had to do and the hidden rooms inside of it, it's really a neat story. All right. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw just a line right there. Okay, almost like they're wearing a baseball cap, but they're not. And I wish I knew what this was called. It's the headdress like King Tut wore. You'll recognize it when you see it. Okay, and now this line right here, go up just a little bit and pretend like you're making a T, but it's not touching. Okay, so it's not touching, but if it was, you would see how it's a T. Okay, and right here, we're going to swoop this all the way around like this. Okay, and then this side, we're just going to connect like this. And you see, oh, I went too far there. That's okay. I'll just go there and connect it. Not a big deal. You know, again, we're doing texture. Normally, here's what I would have done. Don't you guys do it unless you want to. I would have drawn little lines here. But what I want you guys to do is I want you to go around your house, find different textures, and then take your crayon like this. And look, I'm using the side. If I use a crayon or a pencil, I'm using the side, not the top, because then you get really powerful thin lines. We want to use the side so we can get really big smooth lines. And remember, artistic, ancient Egypt had so much art going on. All right, listen up. Okay. Oh, neat, I'm not going to be able to pronounce that. It was the ceremonial headdress. And I know they're called Memes crown, M-E-M-E-S crown. Gosh darn it, look. If you guys can see it, I can't find it. Well, but it's a ceremonial headdress that they wore. And if you had one on, that means you were pretty important. All right, now we're going to finish it up and go like this. Okay, then we've connected everything. Now in ancient Egypt, the hieroglyphics and the things they put on the wall were amazing. So what I'm going to try to do real quickly while you guys are getting caught up is I'm going to find an Egyptian eye, and you'll know what that means in a second. And I bet you if I just Google it, Egyptian eye will be exactly what I think it is. And we're going to draw it together. Yes, that's exactly what I thought, and it's so cool. So we're going to draw that on our Sphinx. So here we go. Right here, you're just going to draw a line here and up. That's going to be the eyebrow. So that's a super easy line. Okay, now we're going to follow this exact line and do a sad face there. We're going to do a happy face there to connect it so it's kind of an oval. Then I'm going to color in the eye part. Make a straight line back I'm gonna try to keep them from touching. I'm gonna make the letter V right there and color it in. And then my final line is going to be a swirly line down like this. And I've created this wonderful Egyptian eye. And they look really hard, but it's like I always tell you guys, when you break things down to the simplest little lines or shapes or whatever, art's pretty easy. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the background. Okay, the first thing I think we should do is draw a pyramid. And we're going to actually take it up a level here. Instead of making it flat like two-dimensional, we're going to do this one a three-dimensional pyramid. And that way you'll have two sides to color on. Okay, here's what I want you to do. Draw a straight line right there. Right in the middle of your page, draw a straight line. So far, we're looking good. All right, now take a pencil or something, and look what I did. I cut my straight line 2/3, 1/3. Okay, so a lot up there. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to make a dot right there and the same amount right there. Okay, so now I have a line with these two dots. And I'm just going to connect the dots right now. So this line is coming up here. This line is coming straight down there. Try to keep it straight. Bam, nailed it. And now it looks like an arrow. I should have just told you guys to draw an arrow. See, we learn as we go. Then I'm going to connect this line and this line. All right. So now I have this pyramid. And I'm going to teach you guys a little secret about 3D perspective. Okay. What I'm going to do is this line, I'm going to redraw this line all the way up, but I'm not going to cross lines. So it goes at an angle here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that same angle there. I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to do it again. And then I'm going to come to this side, and I'm going to do the same thing. That angle there, that angle there, that angle there. And I have my little pyramid going. Okay, texture, 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 all kinds of texture. Today in the middle school class, which is at 2 o'clock, we're going to start studying about an artist named Keith Haring. Keith Haring is really fun and simple to draw, and he has a really nice story. Like, he was one of the good guys in art, just kind of a really special person. He died when he was 31 years old, though. He was very young. But we're going to study him. Okay, now let's see if there's another symbol I can put somewhere. I guess I could draw a mummy over here if I wanted to. You know, I'm going to do something else instead. And you guys don't have to do this. I'm just trying to fill up my negative space. But I'm drawing again like a teardrop. I'm going to connect that. Arms out like that. Okay, and then bring it to the sides. And this is just something else to put on my paper. So I don't know why I dislike negative